It's Ack. It's a show. It's the Ack Show.
Welcome to yet another episode of the Ack Show. Well, I've joined the dark side. I bought a diesel engine and an 88 tin top to put it in. Now I have to get both of them running after I get my Sidewinder CV install and the Hypnotoad working. As I was manhandling the tin top into the backyard, my crazy neighbor decided to yell at me about how I was trespassing because I was only having 6 feet of property between my house and his. This is a bit odd as the fence, which has been dividing our property since the early 60s, indicates that I have 9 feet 6 inches between my garage and the property line. The really sad thing was his inability to incite my anger with lines like, "fucking G.I. Joe truck." Oh well. I had a phone chat with Bee Killer from Zuwharrie BBS about the upcoming spring Zuwharrie event. Here's what he had to say. We're on the phone with Brian Bee Killer over there at Zuwharrie.com, .bbs, whatever it is. How you doing tonight?
Excellent. How about yourself, Jim?
I can't complain. It's not thunderstorming. That's the important part. The weather's starting to get warm. We're actually getting some spring action happening, and I imagine it's even better in North Carolina.
Yes. In fact, we've got quite the warming trend going on. We're getting our first taste of spring. Certainly puts one in the mood to start turning those wrenches and getting prepared for off-roading events.
Yes, and the off-roading event of the season is Spring Zuwharrie. And tell us about where it is and when it's happening.
It's located between Denton and Troy in the Zuwharrie National Forest. The trail system is actually just on the east side of Baden Lake, deep within the heart of the Zuwharrie National Forest. These trails are maintained by the Forest Service, and of course they do an excellent job with that. They rely greatly on volunteer work, by the way, hint, hint. Their trail system works very well, and they do a great job, again, of making the trails enjoyable for everyone at all skill levels and all levels of build.
Well, one of the things you probably want to make sure people understand is this is like public land. It's not like going to the Badlands where you can just go in there and just tear up the ground, do whatever you want to do. This is a public forest, public land, and you need to respect the forest and respect the trails, right?
Absolutely. And in fact, the Forest Service has an Adopt a Trail program, and Zuwharrie.com has adopted one of the trails. Falls Dam is the name of the trail. The idea is their different groups can come in and perform trail maintenance, help to keep the trails free from debris or do any of the other maintenance that needs to be done, pick up garbage, and et cetera, et cetera. In other words, kind of take it under your wing and do your own.
There are actual events that you're going to be having. I know one thing you're going to do is have a dinner on Saturday night with the raffles, but what else is going to be going on? Where you have organized trail groups and things like that? Actually,
over the years, we've found out that the organized trail groups, people sort of tend to home in on their own groups anyway, and it becomes sections of people who already know each other, and then some people sift around if they're new to the event, and they sort of attach to a group and go from there. To put it simply, it seemed like everyone organized themselves. This isn't about the off-roading as much as it is about the people. That's where this is at, and the people are what make it what it is. You know, it's a close-knit family. It truly is. We're also reeling the recent loss of one of our old-time members, Ken Earls, also known as Surly, on the board, and hopefully we can arrange at least a very short memorial, if maybe something a little more involved for him at the event. Ken was a close personal friend of mine, as he was with many of the people on Zuwharrie. It seemed like he touched a lot of folks, and it's certainly sad to lose him.
Here now is this episode's tech feature, all about samurai ring and pinion swaps. This is an often discussed topic on the internet containing fragmented and or incomplete information. Let's fix that, shall we? You can use a ring and pinion gear set out of a Sidekick, Tracker, or Vitara in a Samurai. If you find an s01e Sunrunner, that's Canada's version of the tracker, or an X90, they will work too. For simplification, let's just call the donor vehicle a track kick. Here's a picture of the track kick front differential. And here's a pic of the rear differential. The rear diff is much larger than the front one, and the rear diff ring and pinion, because of its size, naturally cannot be used in a front differential. You can only use the front ring and pinions from any first or second generation track kick in a Samurai. Because of this, you'll need a set of matching front differentials for your gear swap. That's right, the ring and pinion ratios on both track kick front diffs must match each other, or you'll be in a world of mechanical hurt when you shift into four-wheel drive for the first time. Fortunately, Sky High Ranger has created a table that helps you find the right vehicle with the right gear sets. You can use a VIN decoder from the internet to verify the identity of your donor vehicle if you have any doubts. Sometimes a pair of matching differentials or gear sets appear on Craigslist, eBay's, or in the forums. The convenience of harvested diffs or gear sets may cost a little bit more, but the knowledge that they actually match may be worth the trouble. It is also possible to use the complete front track kick aluminum housing on a Samurai front axle if the differential side gears have 22 splines. My research indicates that only first generation track kicks have 22 spline differentials, and the second generation, that's 96 and up, have 26 spline differentials. Samurai rear differentials have 26 spline side gears, so you have to find a matching second generation track kick 26 spline differential for the rear. Sounds confusing? It is. If you do any hard off-roading with an aluminum housing tracker differential, expect catastrophic failure. While this may seem cheaper and easier to swap differentials, case and all, the complex search for the right differentials and the flimsiness of the aluminum housings makes a gear-only swap a simpler, reliable choice. Once you have your set of gears, you'll need to know about one tiny difference between the Samurai and track kick ring gears. In this picture, the track kick ring gear is on the left and the Samurai ring gear is on the right. Note that the insides of the track kick ring gear are machined differently. This picture of a 3-pin Samurai differential shows the pins. Note that the lower spider gear pin is sticking out a bit, while the upper spider gear pin is not. That lower pin could slide farther out of place, except the inner ridge of the Samurai ring gear keeps that from happening. The inside face of the track kick gear is machined so that the spider gear pin could slip farther out of position and possibly cause damage to the spider gears. The aftermarket differential can solves this problem by being installed over the pins to keep them in place when a track kick ring gear is installed. Many vendors sell this particular device. In summation, only front track kick differential gears will swap. Even better, swap only the front ring and pinion, not the entire assembly, for a long-lasting swap. Make sure that both sets of gears match front to back, and buy a can to hold the spider gear pins in place. For more information on servicing a differential, check out a search for differential at axfax.com. A big thanks goes out to LineWatch and Sean, I break these for a living, Davini, for the differential pictures. My salute to the commercial side of the Easter holiday. Comment time is brought to you by Liam Neeson's Egg Salad Sandwich Shop.
Get an egg sandwich with plenty of mayonnaise. Now, there's no time. Quickly!
More professional than what, Badzuki? Sean, I've got something to say to Vinny has a lot to say. The highlights being green laning, acceptable, something, and kitty cat. E-Coast, that was my sore throat voice. This is my announcer voice. Blue skies and green lights to you and yours, and may all your troubles be teeny weeny ones. And if you're listening in your Samurai, thanks for the ride.